All right, number 11 is asking us the product of these terms right here. So what we're going to do first is just distribute this onto one of the terms. So 3 times 3 is 9, and x times x gives us x squared. And we're going to do that way, and that's going to turn into 3x plus 2 is going to be 6x. So now we're multiplying this term by 3x plus 4. So what we're looking at is multiplying two binomials. So you can remember that we can use the magic box, or the magic box, whatever you want to call it. But what that looks like is it's a tool to help us keep our multiplication nice and neat. So we can put 9x squared here and 6x here. So I just listed those two terms and put them on the outside of my box. I'm also multiplying 3x plus 4, so I can put that over here. And remember that these two terms are going to go in, they're going to be multiplied and go in the top left-hand box. So 9 times 3 is 27, and x squared times x gives me x to the third, because remember I'm adding my exponents. And 6 times 3 is 18, and that's going to leave me x squared, because I have a 1 here and a 1 here, so I added those together to give me x squared. 9 times 4 is 36, and we're just going to write the x squared. And 4 times 6 is 24x. So now we need to pull out our like terms. So we have like terms here. So we're going to rewrite and pull everything out of our box. So we only have 127x cubed, so that's the only one there. But we do have 2x squared, so we're going to have to say 36 plus 18 gives me 54 x squares and 24 x's. So looking at our answer choices, it's going to be one of those, and it looks like it's going to be this one right here.
This problem is asking you to identify like terms in subtraction. So my first one here is 3n squared, and I'm subtracting something to get 4n squared. So being able to identify those like terms. So 3 minus something is 4. So you don't need to solve an equation to do that. Some of you guys might be able to figure that out in your head, but that is what we're doing here. So it has to be a negative n. So right away that eliminates A and C. So B and D are the two negative ones. So then I'm looking at what is going to 4 minus something is negative 1. So again, I'm just thinking about what would I take away from 4 to get negative 1. And it would be a positive 5. So the answer has to be B.
All right, so looking at number 13, I have negative exponents, and I need to remember that I can't have negative exponents in my problem or answer, so I need to move all of the negative exponents down to the bottom or the other side and make them positive. So looking at the top one, the negative 2 is not an exponent, so it's going to stay on top, but that m to the negative 3 is going to go down to the bottom and making it m to the positive, so m to the positive third. And on the bottom, that 4m is a negative, so we are going to put it to the top and make it positive. All right, so if we multiply the negative 2 and the 4, that gives me negative 8m on top and m cubed on bottom. So remember, when we are dividing exponents, we are really subtracting them. So remember, I have an imaginary 1 here. So if we were to do 1 minus 3, that's going to give us negative 2. So what we're left with is negative 8m to the negative 2. So remember, we can't have any negative exponents, so we're going to move that m to the negative 2 to the bottom, making it positive. So it's going to be m positive squared. That's going to be our answer. So a correct answer there would be B. All right, so number 14 gives us a proportion or two fractions equaling each other. So anytime that we're given a proportion, I like to cross multiply to set them equal to x and solve for x. So first we're going to cross multiply and do 12 times 5, which is 60. And we're going to multiply the 2 to the x plus 14. So what we need to do is distribute that 2. So that turns into 2x. And 2 times 14 turns into 28. And now all we need to do is solve for x. So we're going to subtract 28. Do it over here too. So that's going to leave us with 32 is equal to 2x. So if we're getting x by itself, we need to divide both sides by 2. And x is going to be 16. So our answer would be B.